Hello children! Welcome back here to the channels Tapa Olho Azul and Super Acadêmico. And I am very pleased to say that in a way that I really don't understand, you, audience, are enjoying the playlist about this book, New Rules of Sociological Methods, from by Antony Giddens. Woohoo! It's strange because the proposal of these channels in the English version is more like to entertain, but this playlist is being very welcome, uh, very well received. So let's continue with this playlist, with this the analysis of the reading and comments of this book. And before I begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channels. Subscribe to the channels, both channels, Tapa Olho Azul and Super Acadêmico. Ring the bell for notifications and comments and share. Take a look at the description below to see what else we can offer you as contacts. So, in the last chapter, the first chapter, we saw some new ideas, some ideas that are taken from the philosophy, from the anthropology to help sociology to better develop its methods, its method. And Antony Giddens is trying to show that the sociology to keep growing and contributing to the society with theories about the social problems of today, today problems. It need to embrace this kind of a new ways to see life, to see the human being, to see the experience of living and using language, using the perception of everyone involved. So as I was reading, I'm still reading the book. I haven't finished yet. I was thinking that the book seems to be some kind of a second opinion, a countermeasure, a position in a way of the classical book Rules of Sociological Method, the rules of sociological method by one of the fathers of sociology, Emile Durkheim. Emile Durkheim, that wrote the book that established the to study society you have to establish the social facts, that is being analyzed. To establish the social facts, you need to have the facts that it's reproducible facts in any society. It needs to be cohesive. It means that the fact impose itself, the fact imposes itself in the life of the individuals, and it's possible to isolate the facts in a way that you can formulate as a problem, like the way we dress, the fashion or crime. There's something that there is in every society, and it imposes itself to every individual, and you can isolate to analyze. So in this way, Giddens presents some problems about the simplification of this way to look at social problems. So the second chapter, it's called Agency, Act, Identifications, and Communicative Intents. Here, so you can see what I mean. Sorry, the position of this thing in the camera is hard because it goes opposite way to it, towards where I point. So I'm pointing left, it goes right in my point of view. So So he begins saying that British and American philosophers are strongly influenced by the later work of Ludwig Wittgenstein, with his language, his philosophy of language philosophy. The problems of agency. Agency is a way to point the one, the individual, the person that is acting at the moment. So agency is like that. The first highlight that I made is I shall define action or agency as the stream of actual or contemplate casual interventions of corporeal beings in the ongoing process of events in the world. So he will define action or agency, as I said, as the stream and the transmission of actual or contemplate casual interventions of people with bodies, corporal beings, in the ongoing process, the continuous process of events in the world. So try to establish the way that the action, the way that we act in society is continuous, is non-stop. It's always there is an action of us as people in society, ongoing process of events in the world. Intention and projects. So we all have intentions in our projects and in our actions. Intentional acts characteristically bring about whole series of consequences, which are quite legitimately to be regarded as doings of the actors, but were not actually intended by them. So, what can we interpret with that? Intentional acts bring about a whole series of consequences. Everything that we do has a consequence, which are quite to be in a legitimately to be regarded as doings of actors, something that actors do, we as actors in society do, but we're not actually intended by them. So we have the responsibility of acting, but we don't have the main intention of doing so, as he's saying. But the problem is that the whole responsibility, the whole accountability of this way of acting resides in whom? Who is to be responsible for that, if not the one that acts? So that's the question. That's the question about this problem that he's saying. That's why it's agency, act identifications, the way to allow the other to act, the identification of who acts, and the communication of the intents. The identification of acts. The intelligibility of nature and natural events is accomplished by construction and sustaining of frames of meaning, from which the interpretative schemes whereby everyday experience is assimilated and handled are derived. So everything that happens, we interpret everything that happens in a way that we assimilate that as part of the meaning process. That is a interpretative schemes. So these interpretative schemes we work in the last chapter. It's something about interpretative philosophy, hermeneutics. It's the line of thought that says that everything that we do, everything that happens, everything that we are surrounded has the possibility of establishment of a meaning by us. We establish a meaning or learn a meaning about what happens because we are able to establish this interpretation. So everything that's possible to be interpreted is derived by this action of establish a meaning, frames of meaning. The understanding of descriptions generated within divergent frames of meaning, so different, divergent, their mediation in regard to the natural world is already an hermeneutic problem. So when we interpret in a divergent way, in a different way, it's established a problem of hermeneutics, a problem of interpretation. And that regarding to the natural world, that's that natural world is supposed to be something that is absolute, that's universal for everyone. So when I look at a tree, I see something, I interpret it some way, other person can interpret the tree in a different way. Now, the conceptual schemes of the social sciences therefore express a double hermeneutic. It's obvious for me why. Relating both to entering and grasping the frames of meaning involved in the production of social life by lay actors, and to reconstituting these within the new frames of meaning involved in the technical conceptual schemes. So, of course, there is a double hermeneutic, the hermeneutic of the one that's doing the interpretation formally, the scientists, and the interpretation of the lay actor, the person, the common person that is just doing something in their lives, okay? So that's why it's double hermeneutic. This relation of reciprocity between common sense and technical theory is a peculiar but eminently interesting feature of social investigation. The problem is that Giddens is trying to establish a way of oppose the classical method by Emile Durkheim by saying you cannot isolate the social facts in a way that you as a social scientist can look at the social facts in a not involved way, in a pure way, okay, in a not biased ways. It's always bias. The individual's reasons or motives for what he or she does certainly have to involve deciding what he or she was intending to do. So everything that we do is motivated by some kind of intention, even when we don't understand and don't know the intention clearly. I don't know, the video is already 15 minutes. I think I will stop here because he's going to begin another topic. I think I won't be able to finish the chapter in one video only. I don't want to to put you to sleep as you that are interested. So next time we continue with the rationalization of action. That's what's something that we do. I think sometimes reading this book, reading these parts for you and commenting, that Giddens, Antony Giddens, is trying to make a scientific theory and a scientific understanding of the common life, of the common sense, in a way that helps sociology to keeping being helps sociology to keep being uh, relevant, relevance. Because when we see the classical theories, the big meta theories from the classical sociologists, Max Weber, Karl Marx, Emilio Haim, Vilfredo Pareto, and, um, and Talcott Parsons, and who else? Who else in sociology? Uh, Antony Giddens himself. But all this, uh, uh, Pierre Bourdieu also, all these big names of sociology, they have they ha- they had contributed to the social theory uh, through these 2 centuries, and 19th, 20th century. And by this time, when we reach the 21st century, it's hard to find new formulations of theories that are not derived from these big theories, these great classical theories. So I think it's a way that make sociology relevant, still relevant this day, by introducing this kind of embracing these methods that can value the 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 small problems, the problems of the individual, the person. And there's also the Georg Simmel, Norbert Elias also. They're sociologists that contribute with this kind of new thinking in a way, because they don't want to make a big theory about big problems in society, but the small problems that develop small theories in a way. Well, I'm just speaking my mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this fifth video of this playlist, and don't forget to share the video for to friends that may enjoy this topic, this subject. And don't forget to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed to the both channels, Tapolho Azul and Super Acadêmico. And we see you next time. Bye.